guys, how you guys doing? This is Ntombi Ngenelwa. If you're a returning subscriber, thank you so much for tuning back in. If you're new here, welcome, and I really hope that you will stay and become a part of this fam bam. And please don't forget to tell your friends, the cousins, mothers, grandmothers, and everybody to come tune into my channel. And please don't forget to share, like, and subscribe. Well, as you can see by the title of the video, I'm doing a story time about my birth story, my labor and stuff like that. Hopefully it's not going to be long because I did do a video and it took like 30 minutes and now like no. So this is my other video that I'm shooting, that I'm filming for my birth story. But before I ramble too much, let me just get straight to the point and hopefully you will enjoy this moment with me, Ntombi Ngenelwa. Let's start. Well, my birth story, let me start from, not really from the beginning. When I went to check how far I was, of which I knew, but I wasn't sure, because obviously when you go to the doctor, they're going to tell you a different story, you know. But the first time I went to the doctor to check and whatever, the doctor, obviously they're going to ask when was your last period and stuff like that. And when I told the doctor said I'll be due around the 25th or something like that. Yeah, around the 25th. And then my doctor was insisting that I need to go to the clinic so that they can do the checkups, because hey, having to check with the doctor every month, like, it's a lot of money. Yeah, every month it's around 500 because my doctor is not that expensive. So I went to the clinic, and when I told the nurses in the clinic that my last period was, I can't remember when did I say, and when they checked, they said I'm supposed to be due on the 26th. So obviously I couldn't remember fully when was my last period. So so it was between the 25th or the 26th of March. Okay, sharp. I went to my checkups every month. I went to the doctor sometimes, you know, sharp. And then so on the day that I was supposed to give birth, on the 25th, of which, like, I had that in mind that on the 25th of March is my last day, like I need to give birth, you know. I was really tired, but I went there. That was my last checkup. And when I got to the clinic, they said, I told them that actually this is my due date, you know. I had to say that because I wasn't sure whether it's the 25th or the 26th, you know. So actually I wanted it to be on the 25th because my daughter's dad, his birthday is on the 25th. So I was like, I'm just gonna take the 25th because, you know what, that will be his gift, you know. So what had happened was that on the 25th I went to the clinic, and when I went, I told the nurse that I'm supposed to be giving birth today, and then that nurse was like, if next week by this time you haven't given birth, you just need to go to the hospital, because the clinic that I was attending my checkups is a small clinic, maybe for checkups and, you know, small sicknesses, but they don't help with giving birth and stuff like that. Okay, cool. I was like, okay, no problem. I went back home. As I went back home, the following day when I woke up, I'm like, okay, let me just go to the bathroom, because I needed to pee. I went to the bathroom, I peed, I was okay. As soon as I got in bed, I'm like, I feel like I have period pains. But because I knew that it wasn't period pains, because I'm not gonna lie, I was watching the videos on YouTube where people are sharing their birth journey and whatever. So obviously you watch different people, and some will say they come this way, some they will say it feels like period pains or stuff like that. So I was like, they said the 25th, the doctor said the 25th, the nurses said the 26th, so clearly I'm due. So I was like, okay, cool. And then I woke up same time. I went to the dining room, I watched TV, I sat down on the floor. I don't know why I was sitting down, like I honestly don't know. I sat down. A few minutes after, my aunt wakes up, like she wanted to go to the bathroom. Actually, she was supposed to go to work, so it was her time to wake up as well. So when she found me sitting down, she was like, as a time, I was like, yeah. And then she was like, okay, you need to take a bath, and do you need us to go to the hospital? Although I was like, no, I don't think I'm fully dilated or dilated even, you know. And then she was like, okay, no problem. Hopefully that thing didn't show on my video because I'm not trying to start again afresh. So, and then she was like, okay, let me go to the office because on the 26th, the following day on the 27th is what it was, the national lockdown and whatever. So she was supposed to go fetch her laptop or something like that. I can't remember. So it was that, and then she went to the office, and then I stayed. I took a bath. I didn't eat. I didn't feel like eating. Cool. When she came back, I was done. My bag was packed already. Cool. We went to the clinic around, I think we went to the clinic, not the one that I used to do the checkups, because my the clinic that I was supposed to use to give birth was another one. So we went there, and now it was around 1 or something or 2. But before that, I did call my boyfriend and told him, okay, I think I'm in. After that, when we got there, we already found my boyfriend there, and I hadn't eaten, and I forgot my bath cloth, you know. So they had to go, my aunts and my boyfriend had to go buy new ones and to buy me food. So on the way there, I'm chilling. I had pains, but they were not that bad. I had to change to my gown or night dress. And then the lady who was checking how far I am with my dilation, is it dilation or whatever, she was like, you're 2 meters away. But she was kind of rude, and obviously I need this person's help, so I can't, you know. I was like, no problem, because she was rough, but I don't want to explain that, you know. So cool. And then they were like, when they came back, the nurses advised everyone who was that side, Guti, by 6 o'clock, you guys can't be here, because obviously it's a public clinic hospital, so your partner or your family can't be there. Cool. And then they gave me food. My pains were getting stronger and stronger. They were probably 10 minutes apart, you know. And then when they left, I sat down. I had a slice of bread and chips and 1 wing, you know. After that, I got so sick. Like, it was so bad. I got so sick. I had to give my food away to this other lady that we were sharing the room with. Cool. Now it's getting late. It's around 10. And then the nurses had to change. I don't know what time they had to change. Was it 8 or 7? I can't remember. They had to change, and then the nurses had to introduce us to the nurse that is coming in. So the nurse that was coming in had to check me, how far I am, but she couldn't do that because I was in pain. And now my pains were coming like this. So I think around 10 or 11, I had to get checked again. I had to go to the other room, and then when she checked me, I think I was around 8 meters dilated or 9, somewhere there. So it's supposed to be 10 meters dilated, and I wasn't even, you know. So now I'm like, no, this is too much, like I'm done. Cool. And then she was like, you know what, let me just give you I can't remember what do they call that injection, but for me to sleep, you know. So she gave me an injection on my bum to get me to sleep. Ew. After that, I was like, I screamed. And then she was like, what's wrong? That was supposed to make you sleep and stuff like that. I'm like, clearly it's not helping. And then when she checked me after that, I was 10 meters dilated. And then she called me into the room where I'm supposed to give birth. And while I'm there, okay, she bought everything of hers. Actually, everything was ready when I got there. Now I'm supposed to take out my gown and putting it down. And then I'm trying to push. That was so nice, actually. I'm not gonna lie, my birth journey was not bad. I really had friendly nurses, especially coming from public hospitals. You don't expect that, you know. But I didn't want to have that in mind, you know, because I'm like, I can't focus on the negativity because I need to bring my baby alive, you know. I tried to push. I pushed because whenever you push, you need to push when your labor pains are coming through, then you push, you know. So while I was doing that, like, she was like, your baby is crowning now. I'm like, oh, okay, that's cool. You're doing well. How? I think it was around 12 or 1. I'm trying to push, nothing. Baby girl is not coming through. After that, and then she was like, let's pray. Do you believe in God? I'm like, fully, like 100%. We prayed. And then another thing, she was like, what shoe size are you? I'm like, I'm a size 3 at all. So when she asked me that, I'm like, it's one of those goody, when you have a small feet, you can't give birth naturally, you have to go C-section. But I was like, no. So, and then probably around past 3, she left me, or 3:30, I can't remember. She was like, don't push, just lie down and whatever. And the pains are coming through. I feel like pushing. I feel like I want to poo, but I couldn't, you know. And the other lady on my other side is screaming. Whenever she's screaming, I will find humor, because I'm like, ish, after this, it's me, you know. After that, what happened? Oh, the next thing I know, another nurse is coming in, and then she's like, please get up, wear your gown and take your bags, because you're going to the bigger hospital. I can't name the hospitals, obviously. So, what happened? I packed my bags. So on my way there to the outside to go inside the ambulance, my aunt calls me, Ngapa, I have pains, like. And then my aunt is like, have you given birth? I'm like, no, I haven't. And that time, the whole night, my grand is calling, but whenever I answer, my pains will strike. And then I'll be like, Gogo, I'll call you back. And then I forget, you know, the whole night. And then when my aunt called, I was in pain. I was like, I'm still in pain. Like, they're taking me to the hospital, blah, 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 blah. And then she was like, no, you'll be okay. Just relax and stuff like that. Sharp, I got inside the ambulance. It was so quick. I couldn't even see what was going on except lights. You know, it was too bright. And we got into the other hospital. There was a bed for me. And then they took me there. I had to move to the other bed. How sharp. Oh, when I got there, they put in those belts. I don't know, what do they call those belts, to feel or to hear my baby's heartbeat. And then after that, what happened? So now they're busy preparing and stuff like that. but it wasn't painful. I think it's because already like everything was just too fast. So when that other nurse cut me, like I couldn't feel the pain, but it wasn't like a cut that it's too deep, you know, or too long or something like that. I don't think so. So I got caught, and then whenever the pains come through, I'm like, can I please push? Oh no, I didn't say can I please push. I tried to push, but nothing was coming. And then the nurses that were passing by, coming to check if I'm doing well, they're like, oh, the other nurse, another nurse who was kind of rude. She was like, you're not sick, you're just in pain, like labor pains. I'm like, exactly. In my mind, I'm like, exactly, I'm in pain, you know. But obviously, I need your guys' help, so I'm not gonna, you know. Cool. After that, there was a time where I asked the nurse who was actually the one who was helping me, I'm like, can I please give birth the other way? And then she was like, nope, you can't, because your baby's head is already there, so you, like, she's crowning, so I can't. So they were busy saying you need to push because you're gonna stress the baby. I had a small prayer. I'm like, God, can my baby come now? It's been hours and hours. Mind you, my labor pain started 5 to 6. So now it's probably around 5 or 6 actually, to 6, after 5 to 6. Trying to push, nothing is coming. My baby's not coming actually. And then the other nurse, the one who said you're not sick, comes through, and then my pains were coming through. As they were coming, they're saying push. As I'm pushing, the other lady, the other nurse was like, she pressed me just a little bit. She helped me to give birth. And then the other one was actually the nurse who was allocated to me, took my baby, and then she was like, oh, here's the baby girl. And then they left the open day. As I'm looking at the time, it's 5 to 6. Clearly my labor pains took me like 24 hours exactly. So they took my baby. I could see they cleaning her and whatever, they're cleaning her. And then after she came out, I'm like, yo, I need to sleep. And then few seconds after, I'm like, noise, you can't close your eyes, baby girl, because what if people come in and then they steal your baby? Nah. So now I'm waiting for my baby to come through. They're like, no, we're taking your baby to NICU or something like that, because she wasn't breathing properly. Now I'm stressing, I'm praying. And then the other nurse came through, and then she cleaned me up, and then my sac had to come out. And when it came out, like, I had other labor pains. So because I forgot about that, I'm like, nurse, what's going on? And she was like, no, your sac came out. I was like, oh, okay. After it came out, she cleaned me and stuff like that. And apparently, once you give birth to your baby, they need to take out the sac same time, because there's a possibility it might get sucked up again, and that's gonna be a problem, because when they take it out, they need to so I was lucky it came out on its own, you know. And then after that, what happened? They took my baby to the thingy, they cleaned me, I relaxed probably for like an hour or 2 on my bed. Then I had to get up and give space for the other people who came to give birth. So we're sitting on the chairs there. So now people are holding their babies. Mina, I'm just chilling there waiting for my baby. So when they left with my baby, as we were chilling there, I saw this nurse. I'm like, this nurse is the one that came through and left with my baby. Clearly that's my baby. And I was hoping it is my baby, because obviously there's other people who gave birth before me. Maybe they also took their babies. only to find when she came in, she was like, don't be ngenelwa, don't guys ngenelwa. And then I was like, oh, that was me. I jumped really quick, forgetting that I was stitched, you know. And then I took my baby, and she was so tired. But because the nurses were saying that I'm stressing my baby, I need to push and whatever, like things like that, she had a thingy somewhere here, and I was stressing, thinking, it's not gonna go back. And then the other nurse was like, no, she'll be okay if you give it like a few days, of which she was okay after a few days. And then I held my baby, I tried to breastfeed, and it was a problem because she was also tired, and I couldn't, you know, when they say like breastfeeding is hard, it's really hard because this person is so small. Ngapha you trying to, ngapha your boobs, like they're so full, like full. And then but she couldn't, like I tried, but even when I got home, I didn't, like my milk was not coming out. So my aunt had to go buy milk so that she can feed. But yeah, it was a beautiful journey. I'd do it again for her, not anytime soon, but for her I'll do it again. And I'm just grateful that I didn't have a bad experience with the nurses or the doctors in the hospital or the clinic. I was lucky. I'm one of the lucky ones, and I'm really grateful. And I'm still grateful now for my baby because I love her so much. Oh my gosh. And yeah, and another thing, it's not about my bad story. She turned 2 last month, and I had to train her to stop breastfeeding, and it's such a hard thing to do, but she doesn't want it anymore because I had to put in alu, and it helped because she'll be like, when I say, do you want to, and she'll be like, yeah, baba. I'm like, good girl. But it's sad because somehow, because that was our bonding time, and I didn't think it's gonna be a bit emotional for me because I was really tired of breastfeeding, but I had no choice but to train her, and it only took her like a week, and I'm so grateful that it took her like a week. So yeah, that is my bed story. Hopefully you guys will enjoy this video as much as I did enjoy, and hopefully it's not too long. Honestly, I hope it's really not too long. I'll see you guys on my next video, and thank you for supporting the girl. Please subscribe. Like, if you're not subscribing, what are you doing? What are you doing? What are you doing? And I'll see you on my next video. Thank you so much for the support.